Hey there, tested friends and fellow makers. Welcome to the shop. You've got Bill today, and I'm talking about my favorite things from 2023. I wanted to start with some video games. I'm a big fan of video games. I play a lot of video games with my wife, and there were a ton of good ones this last year. I'm going to go through them super fast. First has got to be Starfield, probably the biggest game I've played this year, and I'm super obsessed with it. I've been making stuff from it. I even made the Rattler, which is my favorite sidearm from the game, and it's got some really fun features. So super happy with Starfield, and I've been having a ton of fun playing it. I have like 150 hours into it. I also played some smaller games like Dave the Diver, sort of a pixel art side-scroller thing. You both swim around looking for fish and then run a sushi restaurant. It's super charming and has a really fun story. I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3, but my wife Brittany did, and I watched a lot of it. And that game is incredible. You've probably heard all about it. It's just an amazing D&D experience that Larian Studios is able to cram into a video game, and it's been super fun to get to experience that one. I also played a game called Grounded. It's a survival crafting game meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Again, I play with my wife Brittany, team up together to build a little fort out of like blades of grass, build weapons and armor out of parts of bugs, and go on a really fun adventure. Grounded is awesome. In fact, we're playing it again. I also played a ton of Marvel Snap on my phone. It's a card game, competitive game. You collect characters as different cards. It's been really fun to learn about this deep stable of characters that Marvel has and play a lot of the game. I got to Infinite a few times. It was challenging, but it was a good challenge and very rewarding. And then the last video game is something called Backpack Battles. This was something we got into recently. It's an auto battler. You set up a backpack full of items like swords and shields and buff items, and then you pit your backpack against someone else's and you do battle. It's tons of fun. It's really casual, really chill. And again, both Brittany and I have been really enjoying that one. Those are most of our favorite video games from 2023. I've also done some really fun projects. I pointed out the Rattler, but at the beginning of this year, I finished my Arcane Butterfly. These are Jinx's butterflies from the show Arcane. In fact, they just announced season 2 today. I saw in November of 2024, the new one's coming out. Perhaps these butterflies will play a role. I made this all out of brass. It was a super fun challenge, learning how to do CNC on the Shapeoko. To make all these parts, and then I add a little circuit so his butt glows. I love how this thing turned out. It is currently our nightlight in the bathroom. Now on to some video production stuff. We do a lot of video production stuff for our own Punished Props videos right here, and we have all sorts of fun toys. Starting with this lav mic, there are a lot of different new systems now for doing lav mics, where you get a little sort of receiver, and then you get like 2 little boxes that are your microphones. They're wireless and they work really well. Rode makes one, DJI makes one. I got this one here from a company called Hollyland, and it's got all sorts of really wonderful features. I have mine hooked up to a wired mic on my collar here, but this little guy here does all sorts of fun stuff, including recording locally so that you can have a safety track, or if you're not filming video, you can just take one of these, hit the record button, and it'll record some audio for you. Comes with 2 of these. And it's just crazy easy to use. It's really changed things around here. Also for video production, I got to borrow this Laowa probe lens. My friend Sophie and her husband Kim had one. We were visiting there and they very kindly let me borrow it so I could get some beauty shots of my Rattler here. And it's just a really fun lens to experiment with. There's stuff you can do with it that you can't do with any other lens. You can get some really neat effects. I was able to pull the lens through the trigger well of the Rattler here and get a really neat effect. I'm gonna have to play with this some more and see what else I can do with it. For tools and stuff, I didn't get a lot of new tools this year, but I did get the new Mark IV Prusa 3D printer, and it's awesome. It's so fast. Input shaping has kind of changed the game. There's a lot of new printers out there that are a lot faster now, and it makes my old printers feel very slow. I was able to print this part here for just for fun. My buddy Jury modeled this up. It's a blaster from Starfield. Printed this thing up in like a day in all the different colors. It's so crazy fast. In fact, Norm was in town recently. The 2 of us put this together for a video on the Punished Props channel. Really fun, and we've been putting a ton of hours into that printer, and it's just been great. It's absolutely killing it. We've been 3D printing a lot of stuff lately, in fact. We have a Mark III next to it, which honestly doesn't get as much play anymore. But we've got an Ultimaker and then the 2 Prusas, and then we got some resin printers, and they're all working a lot to make all sorts of fun stuff. We also went to some events this year. A new one for us was Flight Fest. The guys over at Flight Test, the YouTube channel, put this thing on every year in Ohio. We flew out there to see some family, met up with them, and went to Flight Fest for a day. It's super fun. There's all sorts of airplane building, RC airplane building, and flying and crashing. There's a combat event where they put like 100 or so airplanes in the air and see which one stays up the longest. There's all sorts of collisions and mayhem, and it's really fun to watch. So Flight Fest, if you're in Ohio in the summer, look it up. It's crazy fun. People camp there all weekend long and get up to all sorts of radio-controlled flying shenanigans. I'm probably going to have to go back. We also went to Dragon Con this year. We go every year when we can. We missed a couple during the pandemic, but Dragon Con feels like it's back in full swing, and I couldn't be happier. This year was exceptional. Adam was there. We got to go say hi to him. A ton of our friends were there. People continuing to bring their A game when it comes to costumes and creating experiences for people. Other than getting COVID at both the last 2 Dragon Cons I went to, it's been spectacular. We'll definitely be there in 2024. And my last favorite thing for the year has got to be my pellet smoker. My parents got me this for my 40th birthday. I've been using it for a year or so and getting tons of use out of it. I really like doing pork ribs, like a lot, but we do lots of like chicken thighs, a ton that's really fast. We'll do pork loins pretty frequently because they're pretty quick, or we'll do like a pork shoulder that we could smoke all day long. It gets yummy and delicious. We just love that thing. It gets used. I have a propane grill that just we don't use anymore. I'm going to get rid of it because I haven't used it in like 2 years. We do everything on the smoker now, and it's awesome. The pellet smoker is amazing because you just dump pellets into it, plug it in, and then set the temperature like it's an oven, and you're good to go. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got an app. It has all the modern conveniences, and it's just so ridiculously easy to get that delicious barbecued smoked meat. That's like one of our main ways to cook now. We love it, and it's so good. The very last thing, another food-related item, we've been going on a bit of a hot sauce journey. Neither me or Brittany are super into really spicy stuff, but if we go like 3 or 4 out of 10 as far as spicy is concerned, then we're happy. And we've been trying a lot of different hot sauces. One of my favorites is this one from Trader Joe's. It's just their garlic and jalapeno. It's not very hot at all. It's quite mild, and it's good on just about everything. Very savory, very delicious, very umptuous, as Alex, French guy, would say about this sort of thing. It's really good. We just got this, and it'll be gone in a week, I'm sure of it. So there you go. That's my favorite things for 2024. A pretty wide range of stuff, but that's what we've been up to. We've been trying lots of new things and really enjoying ourselves here. Thanks so much for hanging out with us and our tested friends this year. Next year looks to be just as exciting, and I can't wait to jump in. We'll see you next year, everybody. Happy holidays. Happy building.